Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching Clear and Present Danger by Philip Noyce, starring Harrison Ford. We're back with the third Jack Ryan film, guys. Last year I reviewed Patriot Games, and the year before that I reviewed The Hunt for Red October. Both were really good movies. Patriot Games, it felt like it was a straightforward action film, whereas The Hunt for Red October, that felt like a claustrophobic spy thriller set inside a submarine. I liked The Hunt for Red October a little bit better, to be honest. And that movie had Sean Connery in it, and he's awesome. Putting those films aside, I don't know what to expect from this film plot-wise, but thematically, I'm expecting it to be closer to Patriot Games compared to The Hunt for Red October, since it's the same actor and director. I do remember one criticism I had from the last movie, Patriot Games. It was that the film had too many different players, and I do remember the director having a little bit of a hard time juggling all those separate storylines. But again, it was still a very good movie. The plot was a little hard to follow, but not impossible. So I'm really hoping there's an improvement in that regard. It's been a while since I've reviewed a proper action or action thriller on the channel, so I'm very excited to get into it. But before we do, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 260 movies, 2 TV shows, early access, and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along, and the links in the description below. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, feel free to dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. Clear and Present Danger. Noyce. Ford. Let's go. This theme sounds familiar. It's from the previous film, Clear and Present Danger. Oh, Willem Dafoe! Holy crap. Anne Archer. Sally Ryan, I think? Yeah. I think the previous film had Jack Ryan going against the IRA, if I remember. I wonder what this adventure will lead him to.
Contact 020, range 20,000.
Cowboys.
Is something bad about to happen? Benjamin Bratt. Okay, I know the name. Raymond Cruz. I also know this name. He played Tuco Salamanca in Breaking Bad. Thora Birch. She's back as the daughter. Okay, we've got a lot of returning actors. And James Earl Jones. I believe he played the Admiral, and the music is also by James Horner. Oh, dude, he's covered in blood. With that much blood on him, I don't think they have any intentions of stopping. Tom Clancy. What a shot, by the way.
I think you better send over the video camera.
Bodies. That explains the blood.
Jack, come on in.
Jack Ryan.
Jack. Yes, sir? Be discreet.
What do you mean?
You'll find out.
And his wife, and his son and daughter.
Dude.
They were killed in their staterooms, apparently, as they slept. Half a dozen arrests for drug trafficking in Bogota, Mr. President.
It's not the first time. It's the first time it was a friend of mine.
It's personal for the president.
I promised the American people I would do something about the drugs pouring into this country. What do these drug dealers think? We're powerless? Is that what they think? They think they can keep doing this kind of thing and there's no response, ever.
Well, Mr. President, as long as there's demand, there will be supply.
These drug cartels represent a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States.
We've name-dropped the movie. They are a clear and present danger. But we also have to look at the overall U.S. policy on drugs around that time. It was, I believe, it was Ronald Reagan and his war on drugs, which, as we know now, failed spectacularly.
A mí. Tengan la muerte de su padre cuando menos lo espere.
He ordered the deaths of the people earlier.
Y un aliado político del presidente de los Estados Unidos.
He just realized who he killed was a friend of the president of the U.S.
You pay me to counsel you, and I'm counseling you. If you keep running your business the way you have been, I'll quit, and you'll get killed.
That's a reality check for you, Mr. Drug Dealer. Hey, I believe this is the Rhyme household. It is. They have a son, too.
It's not supposed to float, it's a submarine. It's a boat that goes
A submarine. That's a reference to the first film, The Hunt for the Red October.
Pancreatic cancer of an aggressive nature, if I heard them right.
Jesus.
Oh, man. He has cancer.
I'm in the hospital, which means that I'm not in my office.
And he's worried about work.
Want to know about politics in Washington?
It's all a lie?
Watch your back, Jack.
Watch your back, Jack.
I'm appointing Ryan the acting deputy director, intelligence. You guys are going to be working together, hand in hand.
That's great.
Yeah, that dude doesn't have a very trustworthy face.
He's in loyalty, cleanliness, and not time.
So leave him out of it.
He's a deputy director of intelligence, James. It's going to be a little tricky, don't you think?
So unless I have written authorization, this thing is over before it begins, because I'm not going to be the only one left without a chair when the music stops.
Look at this guy. Trying to save his own butt. Chip cutter. Okay, looks like he got his authorization, and now we're in Panama.
Revenge is a very, very, very dangerous motivation.
I love Willem Dafoe.
I want the money in my account before I move an inch.
I just need 12 men who understand discretionary warfare, special ops people, Spanish speaking.
Maybe I should refresh your memory.
Dude's playing her.
Excuse me,
Like a
your table is
fiddle.
ready now?
Give it to somebody else. I'll get a cab.
Who was that?
My new friend, Senor Roberto Landa. Doesn't he look like
Holy
Jack?
crap.
Oh, does he?
She has no idea she's being used. One other thing I really like about this film already is the cinematography and camera work is very consistent.
Got it. I got it. Wife's birth month, daughter's day, son's year.
Yeah, that's easy.
That he was laundering money for the Colombian drug cartels.
Jesus.
The reporter asked if you and Hardin were friends. I'd say no, we're good friends. Defusing a bomb after it's already
Exploded.
gone off.
Shit!
You see him?
That's a sniper right there.
All right, you won this one. Come on out.
Hey, it's Tuco. Look at him. Raymond Cruz, all young.
We were good friends. We were lifelong friends.
I said that.
You did.
I agree we have to help the Colombians in their struggle to curtail the drug cartel's activities. No troops, then. You could say I have your word on that.
You could indeed, because you do.
I wonder how they're going to use the funds then.
Check your pockets for anything that can be used for identification.
It's not an authorized mission, so if they're left behind, they're left behind. And that's why they chose young men with no families. That's kind of sad, right? So far, the story in this film has been easier to follow compared to the previous one, so that's a good thing. I know this person isn't meant to be Pablo Escobar, and he's from the Cali cartel. He does look like him a little, right? With the mustache and the stature.
The cash is still there. $650 million.
Right.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
I think we would have to establish that before we could seize the money.
Huh.
So, go down there and establish it.
I leave you alone for 2 weeks, and you walk straight into a big bear trap. There's a guy down there, at least he used to be. Clark.
That's Willem Dafoe's character, right? Yep, they're transporting drugs. That's what they're doing. Oh, I have a feeling things will go so wrong. Are we about to see an explosion? That was awesome. You guys already know I love explosions in movies, and that was great.
Be careful.
One thing about Jack Ryan's character is the fact that he has almost no weaknesses. I guess his biggest weakness is also his greatest strength. The fact that he's super loyal to his country and what he thinks is right. That can be exploited, but apart from that, I don't see any other flaws in his character. And sometimes you do need flaws to humanize someone. And in this film, they're doing it with his family.
Don't do that. Give Dr. Ryan a little bit more air back here, please. Bulletproof. Escobedo's intelligence officer. We don't have a name either, but we know he exists.
Invisible man, huh?
We lost another plane. Okay.
Oh, they're definitely getting their attention, right?
What do you make of this, Colonel? An opportunity.
I've been out of the game for a long time. Jim Greer. How's he doing?
Try the Lindo brand.
All right, we have a lead. The Lindo, a coffee brand.
DEA here feels that the Colombian government would want the seized funds, or at least a large portion of them.
Well, this is our money.
Well,
this is our money. We found it. Jacobs will come down. He'll take care of it. He'll negotiate.
yes, sir.
This is our money.
Thank.
I mean, I kind of get it. He wants to show off the money to the public for re-election. But the way he said it, this is our money? I don't know. But it looks like they've stumbled onto a production plant. Wow, what an explosion. There's no faking that. Ernesto, you messed with the wrong people, my man.
Dead! Do you hear me?
You free in the next couple of days?
Oh
My boss is leaving the country.
Oh no, poor lady gave the information away.
$650 million and change.
They're stealing my money.
Elizabeth?
What's our take?
Santa Fe's our spot. As much as I would love to be here for this, I have to take care of some business in Washington.
Yeah, this is not going to end well for her. We've seen this bike before in that factory, so they're clearly bad guys, right? Oh. Oh no, it's an ambush. That's what they were planning at the factory. Oh no. It's a literal kill box.
Oh my God.
I mean, you have to get out, right? Or... No, I don't think they can get out. They'll just get shot. Okay, the pyrotechnic work is just awesome. Look at these explosions. Oh man, so many of them are dead. I wonder who survived. Is it only Jack? Oh, he's dead. That last dude was a hero. One more thing I wanted to mention was, I'm not really noticing James Horner's score here. I mean, the main theme we heard at the beginning of the film, but not too many new compositions, if that makes any sense. But the sound design, the actual explosions, they sounded fantastic.
It directly challenged the sovereign power of the United States.
That's true. Yeah, I think it's about pride for the US right now.
I didn't. I wish I had done it. They deserve it, but it wasn't me.
You calling to ask me if I did this thing? You don't consult with us. You put us in danger.
We must have a meeting.
When?
He's scared.
He should be.
I don't know what he said to him, but it was right.
Yeah, so far I'm actually enjoying this film a little more than Patriot Games. The story is a little easier to follow. The explosions have been fantastic. Again, the plot is a little more interesting with all these drug dealers and high-level officials being involved. But it's more of an action film than a spy or a thriller movie.
I'm talking about Moira.
What?
Moira. You remember Jacob's secretary.
I know Moira, honey. What are you talking about?
Doesn't know. Now they're following the lead.
You have a recording of the killer's voice.
Look at the size of this carrier, guys. Wow. Right, they're still doing surveillance.
Oh, what the hell is this?
What the hell is this?
Easy Rhino, do you copy? Over.
Oh.
Loud and clear, Easy Rhino.
Are they going to strike the meeting?
Shit. Thought we had everybody.
They don't have Ernesto. Kids! I didn't even think of the Okay, you got drug dealers, but you killed children. I mean, this is not surprising at all. Collateral damage.
Look, I'll fax you what I have on him. If he shows up, pick him up for me, will you?
I'm sorry, guys. I don't like when kids die or get hurt.
You said it was going to be a surgical strike.
It was perfect.
That's a kid they just brought out on NBC.
Take the gloves off, hurt them, that's what you
I
said.
thought that was the president for a second, but it was... Yep. You're in real trouble now, a-hole.
Just like I said it would, rivalry that ended in the blast of a car bomb.
Now he's even a more dangerous man because he wants to cover his own ass. But in my eyes, he's already irredeemable. He's going to figure it out. It wasn't a car bomb.
HMX.
I like the fact that the director is showing them actually doing some research. I mean, this is like 80-90% of the job, right? Sitting behind a desk and studying.
Americans are here.
Yeah, they both came to the same conclusion. It was the US military.
We both know there are American troops in Colombia fighting an illegal war.
What do you want?
Same as you. Mineral water. You've taken care of the little fish. I will take care of the one that got away. Once Escobedo is gone,
Yep,
I
Ernesto.
will be in the position to help you. What would you say if I promise you I will reduce the cocaine shipments to your country by half? I can also promise you regular quotas on major arrests that your police can take credit for.
Jeez.
Imagine that.
That's his plan.
I'm afraid if I dig any deeper, no one's gonna like what I find.
You took an oath. Your word is who you are.
Your word's your bond.
Brought you some new magazines.
Man, James Earl Jones is such a fantastic actor.
I'd love to try to make a connection there.
And you think they will? Then it should go away. It never happened.
Dude.
Yes, sir.
Holy crap. Is the president now complicit? Even if he doesn't know what went wrong. Kind of reminds me of Nixon and Watergate. I'm not a crook.
Clark.
Remember the days when the print screen button, we used to use it to print files.
You're going to jail, pal.
There you go again.
Why was I kept out of it?
You weren't kept out of it. You're neck deep in it. You went before Congress and you got the money for it. You went before Congress.
Yep. He's the fall guy.
Who authorized this?
I have no recollection, Senator.
I knew I couldn't trust his face.
Authorizes the Deputy Director CIA, Robert Ritter, to conduct Operation Reciprocity, including all support necessary to such activity. This operation is deemed important to the national security of the United States.
It's a pardon.
James?
Oh man.
Thank you.
I also like the fact that this movie is not focusing too much on Jack Ryan's family. That's already been established in the previous film. They're being abandoned. Holy crap. Wow. This is so sad. Being abandoned by your country like that. Patriotic music being played while the soldiers are dying. Yeah. I mean, I don't even think that it's Clark's fault too, because he got authorization, right? So he didn't want to do anything without authorization. Oh, it's not like he can do anything alone, right?
It's Ryan. He found out everything. Threatened to walk up the hill if we didn't shut down the operation.
They're blaming it on Ryan.
It's shut down. Just give me some air and my men are out of there. I'm on a plane. I'm gonna kill him. Ritter?
That's exactly what they wanted.
Assuring you that once Ryan's gone, we're back online. You understand?
Are you proud of yourselves, guys? And I'm not surprised Jack's actually showing up. And he has to arrive as a private citizen, right? Things are getting tense.
Clark. I killed him. Turn the up back on.
Clark.
You said get rid of Ryan, and we're back in business, right?
Oh, man. I know Ryan's not dead.
I came to help you get those guys out. What can you do to help me? A helicopter.
$2 million? My pilot and I would have to take it for a test flight.
Yes, of course. You just have to leave a deposit.
How much is that?
$2 million?
Get out of my chopper.
No. My chopper.
He's got the receipts.
These are the falls we saw from the air.
Well, it should be about 50 meters down.
Dude, they're being watched.
You left us! You left us! Wait! Hey! No! Support at all!
They were taken to Captain Oso.
The others?
I buried them.
Escobedo knows. What are you gonna do? Knock on his door?
$650 million.
And change. Felix Cortez has sold you out. His next move is
There
to
it
murder
is.
you, your family, and to take over the cartel.
I'd like you to meet my new friend, Dr. Ryan.
What does he want?
He's opening the blinds.
The safe return of his associates.
What does he offer us in return?
You.
You.
What am I supposed to do with you? Guess I'm supposed to kill him with this bat!
Oh, and he's dead. And he's dead. Come on, sniper man, shoot him.
Kill the plant! The American killed Ernesto! Come on, move! Let's go!
The American killed Ernesto. Man, Cortez is gonna die.
We're going home, boys.
Guys, is the next film, The Sum of All Fears, worth watching? I think that has Ben Affleck as Jack Ryan. Please let me know in the comments. I actually like the fact that the climax of the movie isn't some big action set piece, it's more intimate. This is what really ramps up the tension. This cat and mouse chase.
Hold on! We wait for Ryan! Shut it down! He's down there!
Gotta go for it, Ryan. Cortez is dead, and we have the triumphant music from Horner. They got away, but we still have to deal with Ritter, Cotter, and the President, right?
I was kept in the dark, as you were, for a very long time.
We're with you.
And now we have to sort them out. We have to figure out who is responsible for what and what to do about it. You should never make important decisions while you're upset.
You did. I will not let you dishonor their memories by pretending you had nothing to do with it.
How dare you?
And he's going to talk to the Senate Oversight Committee.
You are going to save that for a time when your own ass is on the line. And then you're going to pull it out. And I'm going to cash it in for you.
Jeez.
You'll take the blame. Cutter and Ritter will take some too, but it won't amount to much. They'll get a slap on the wrist.
Jeff pardons.
I'm sorry, Mr. President. I don't dance.
Oh. He doesn't care. He's just going to come out with the truth.
We need to talk.
No, you don't.
Ryan!
You had your chance. Those eyes tell us exactly what he's thinking.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
I do.
I like that they end on this note and they don't have to show people going to jail and all. It's all implied. I really like this film, guys. I think this was an improvement over Patriot games, honestly. Story was kept a little more simple. It was easier to follow. The action was great. The explosions. It had one weakness. We're going to talk about it. If the next one is worth watching, I know it's probably not a proper sequel, but if it's worth watching, the one with Morgan Freeman and I believe Ben Affleck, if that's worth watching, do let me know. Okay, I took a little time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was a solid action thriller. The 90s had so much to offer when it came to mid-budget action films. Where are they to nowadays? Like your $30 to $50 million movies. It's either $250 million blockbusters or $10 million indie films with nothing in between. Studios like to hedge their bets on big movies nowadays, but that's a discussion for another day. For now, I really like the directing from Philip Noyce. It was definitely an improvement over its predecessor. I thought the story this time around was easier to follow. It was engaging with the right amount of action and conspiracy. The performances from Harrison Ford, Willem Dafoe, and James Earl Jones, they were also noteworthy, and so were the action sequences, the explosions, the subtle cinematography, and the score. The main weakness I had with the film was a minor one, and it had to do with Jack Ryan's character. He doesn't seem to have any flaws as a person. He was too much of a Boy Scout, if that makes any sense. Giving him a tiny bit of a dark side would have made him more of a three-dimensional character. But I do get it. He's like a symbol for American patriotism. So they can't really show him being corrupted, not even a little bit. Anyways, let's start with the directing by Philip Noyce and the adapted screenplay from Donald E. Stewart, Steven Zillian, and weirdly from John Milius. I was really surprised when I looked it up. I always remember him as the director of Conan the Barbarian. Oh, what a great film. And I believe he wrote the script to Apocalypse Now 2. This was based on Tom Clancy's novel of the same name, and as I haven't read that, my review is just based on what we saw together. The story here was fairly simple, but it unfolded like a mystery, like any good mystery. I guess it is a mystery, right? Anyways, basically a drug cartel's boss, he has somebody killed, and it catches the eye of the president, as the victim was kind of his friend. Looking the other way, the president sets up his guys, Cutter and Ritter, by telling them to get justice by whatever means necessary. Cutter and Ritter take advantage of Jack Ryan by getting him to secure funds from Congress. He makes promises that no troops will be involved, but they secretly have troops and they use them to go after the cartel. Everything goes wrong expectedly, and Jack Ryan has to save the day, exposing the conspiracy and the president's complicity. I like the film that I like the fact that the film was pretty singularly focused on Jack Ryan's story. I mean, there were a couple of minor subplots like Sally Ryan and Admiral Greer, rest in peace, or even that poor woman who got manipulated, Moira. But thankfully, the subplots were kept to a minimum. I also thought that there was subtle commentary, not so subtle in some scenes, on the war on drugs, which they, especially when they suggested that the US officials, they were kind of helping the bad guys, like when Cortez offered Cutter Ernesto's head in exchange for Cortez essentially replacing Ernesto as the head of the cartel and lowering the shipment of drugs, showing that the war on drugs is kind of working. Damn. The political aspects of the movie, the conspiracy stuff, were its, I'm guessing it, at least in my opinion, was its real strength. I was most interested in the conspiracy stuff, but apart from the story itself, the production end was also very good. The performances, they were definitely commendable, like I mentioned. I don't think there were any weak links here. I'm already used to Harrison Ford as Jack Ryan, and Willem Dafoe, he's a chameleon. He can play anyone. He can play anything for that matter. However, I don't think this was their best performance ever. They just felt like professional actors doing their job, and sometimes that's a good thing. The cinematography was also subtle. The indoor shots were subdued and static. in comparison with the action shots, which felt more visceral. I really liked the contrast of those two aspects. The aerial shots of the jungle were another standout in conjunction with the fantastic stunt work throughout the movie. That ambush scene in the second act, that was excellently done, and it looked fairly realistic, especially those explosions. And speaking of explosions, there were so many, and all of them, they were practical. They were amazing, and the things I'd give just to be a fly on the wall on that set, just watching stuff blow up. Damn, I love practical explosions in movies, and this film did not disappoint. Finally, the score from James Horner was surprising, to say the least. At the beginning, I honestly didn't think it was that great, but it really did grow on me by the end, especially those long sweeping sounds that really evoked an emotional response from me. The sound design was even better, with the action and explosions sounding fantastic. As for the criticisms, I only had one minor one: Jack Ryan being too good, too incorruptible. And again, I completely understand why he was shown this way. He's the literal embodiment of American patriotism on screen. I just wish he felt more human, and they did show him to be a family man again. We know and love that about him, but even a single weakness would have probably added to his character, at least in my opinion. Overall, Clear and Present Danger was a solid action thriller, improving on its predecessor. A more streamlined story, along with competent directing, acting, and action, really kept me at the edge of my seat for most of the runtime. The sound design and explosions alone are worth the entry price, in my opinion, and it offered a lot of subtle commentary on the war on drugs too. If the next film, The Sum of All Fears, is worth a review on the channel, please let me know. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider my Patreon. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video. Feel free to dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.